Perched on the best lot of Lake Petenwell, Wisconsin, this home is a front row seat to incredible lake views. Just minutes from world-class golf at Sand Valley and some of the best fishing in the state, this luxury timber-style retreat blends comfort, beauty, and location. Let's take a look inside. Welcome to a new season of Golden Eagle Log and Timber Luxury Home Tours. I'm Justin Jankowski. I've been with Golden Eagle for 20 years. We've designed over 6,000 homes throughout North America. And we take careful consideration when designing homes. We certainly want to optimize the design of the home to the property. And this is why. Look what we've done with this home. It literally feels like we're standing on top of the water with this property. The client came to us and wanted to take advantage of the spectacular views that they have. They took an inspiration from our original lake house home. The lake house design takes advantage of properties like this that are on a peninsula because of the large glass walls on both ends. With the prow here, you almost have a 270-degree viewing area of one of the largest lakes in Wisconsin. Each client comes to us with their own unique taste and design style. This home definitely has a nautical feel to it with a rustic twist. You can see here a Grady White captain's chair. Comment below on what your favorite feature is. I often get the question, can a timber home be a log home? And can a log home be designed as a timber style home? And the answer is absolutely yes. Our original lake house design was a log home. The client took that home as inspiration, made it their own, and made a timber version of the original lake house design. From the exterior facade that is timber, to the interior timber accents, and the hand-hewn timber posts and trim work throughout this home, it certainly is a timber style home. On the original lake house design, the loft spanned the entire distance to the kitchen. With this design, we opened up the view. And what I love about that is when your guests walk in, they're gonna see everything. Lakes all around them, the open loft above, the timber accents, and the miles and miles of water. Now these homes are certainly designed to let the outside in, a lot of natural light into the home. And there's gonna be times you're gonna wanna watch TV, but block some of that sun. Now it's easy to put shades or blinds in a rectangular or square shaped window, but have you ever seen this before? Shades in a triangular window? I'm sure you'll be seeing these in a lot of our new home designs. The client came to us and wanted a clear view of the spectacular lake. So we designed picture units here, which means they don't open, so you're gonna have a clear view unobstructed by any screens. Now they also wanted ventilation. So on the side walls, we went with casements. Now these windows will open up and allow ventilation to allow a nice cross breeze through the great room. And we repeated that same thinking on the other feature wall. So of the 6,000 homes that we've built throughout North America, each one is designed specifically for that location, for its wind load, snow load, and seismic load. Just take a look at how massive this wall is. We designed this tall wall to withstand the wind loading in this area. This is a 2x8 insulated wall. And then just look at how massive the trim is, the exterior trim. I mean, this wall is almost 2 feet thick. And with Pella windows, there's gonna be a ton of options. We're gonna help guide you through those choices. Well, this client came to us with energy efficiency in mind. So we went with triple pane windows, low E films, sun defense glass, and argon gas filled windows. This is a wood window with maintenance-free exterior cladding in black color. You also have your choice of vinyl and fiberglass, as we'll see used in the master bathroom. I love this open concept kitchen. It's centrally located. Imagine coming in from the garage with a handful of groceries. The kitchen is just a few steps away to the refrigerator. We also have quick access to the entertaining deck, a bathroom just adjacent, and then as your guests enter the home, they see this beautiful kitchen designed for entertaining. Let's get into some of the details This is one of my all-time favorite combos. This is rustic alder with the toffee stain. Just the softness of the alder wood and the grains just make a beautiful combination. This isn't a pantry cabinet, this is actually the refrigerator. We've designed custom panels to go over the refrigerator and kind of mask the finishes of the refrigerator. And keeping with the nautical theme, check out the handles here. As we move further into the kitchen, we're gonna see a Wolf cooktop. And down below, you can see what we did here is remove the false door front that's usually here, replaced it with 2 doors, and then put drawers below to utilize every square inch. Here's what I love about the real stone backsplash. It looks awesome, but if you're cooking and items get splashed up, it's gonna be really easy to clean that surface. I love the way that these appliances are positioned. It's gonna be easy access to pull items out. And then also, the microwave drawer is set a little bit lower. So as that drawer pulls out, you can easily see what you're pulling up and out onto the counter. A lot of the prep work is gonna be down on this end. And a lot of the serving and eating area, crock pot setup is gonna be done most likely on this end. So your guests are gonna be at a different level while they're eating, or if you're eating outside, maybe they grab their food and head out to the convenient door that's right adjacent. And speaking of outside, I gotta show you something cool out there. So out here on the entertaining deck, this is a great opportunity to sit here with your guests and friends, but sometimes on those summer days, it might just get a little too hot. That's when an automatic sunshade is gonna be the way to go. Another cool feature about the shade is that it's smart enabled. So if you leave it up and it's a little too windy, the shade will automatically close and protect itself. So as I'm walking back into the home to the dining room, I notice that the back side of the island features Golden Eagle's proprietary hand-hewn finish on a 1x8 pine tongue and groove. Now you can do a couple other items on the back side of the island. It could be cabinetry finish, it could be stone, it could be whatever you want, but I really like the hand-hewn texture here. And also notice we applied the hand-hewn texture to the angle brackets. Kind of a cool little touch. As I walk into the dining room, the one item that catches my eye is this massive black walnut table. It was custom cut from a black walnut tree near Madison, Wisconsin. It's 14 foot long, 4 feet wide. It'll seat up to 12 people. You can have the entire family around one table. And we can't overlook the staircase. This is no ordinary stairway. This is a custom handcrafted stairway from Golden Eagle. Every surface of this stairway is hand-hewn. They've even taken the extra step to hand-hew the end grain. I haven't seen that a lot. And they've also taken the time to hand-hew the surface of the tread to make it non-slip, give you more traction as you're going up those treads. So I'm up here in the loft, and it's not too often that we get up close and personal with these heavy-duty mortise and tenon timber trusses. You get to see the intricacy done with each truss. You can see the beautiful hand hewing, the extra detail around the bottom that creates what we would call an acorn. It's just great to see them this close. This is such a cool loft. I could see it being used as a sitting area for reading or watching TV. There's certainly no views lost up here. The heavy-duty glass allows for a clear view of Lake Petenwell, 11 miles all the way down the lake. Carrying through with the nautical theme, the client wanted a canoe mounted from the ceiling, and I think it fits well in the space, and it fits well with the home. While we're upstairs, let's take a look at the guest suite. It's as equal to or better than the master suite when it comes to the amenities in this room. Just take a look at the view outside the gable dormer windows. With this design, it allows for sloped or vaulted ceilings on the second floor. And that allows for massive volume and height upstairs. These ceilings reach up to 14 feet in height. And check out all the detail in the ceiling work. We added 8-inch ridge beam, 8-inch rafters, and both of them are hand hewn. And like I mentioned, there's no amenities lost in the guest suite. We have a large walk-in closet and then a very extravagant bathroom. The first thing I notice about the awesome tiled shower is that there's no curb on it. Clients want a smooth transition into that tiled shower. Let us know that you want this feature and we'll plan for it in the design phase. I love the pebble floor in here. Then they also bring that same stone as an accent strip into the wall tile and into the niche. The angled glass wall is a great idea to keep water into the shower, preventing it from splashing out. And the window also gives you a view while you're taking a shower. Directly below us is the master suite. Let's go check it out. So as we're in the master suite, I definitely see maybe a softer touch in here. We have more drywall in here with the massive hand-hewn timber accents. So that's one thing to note, is that even though it's a timber home, it doesn't have to be all wood. We can certainly add drywall in different textures. Just let us know what you'd prefer. Here's a couple things I like about this window is we have water on all sides of this home. So you have a great view of the lake, but then we also lower these windows. So now this allows for easy access to the hardware to open and close the windows. A fireplace is definitely a design feature clients are requesting in the master suite. And there's a number of different ways that you can add a fireplace. There could be a gas, a wood burning, and even gas fireplaces that don't turn out heat. A design feature that I love about this fireplace is that the hearth is raised, so it can act as extra seating if you need to sit down, take on and off shoes, put on socks. The hand-hewn mantle ties in perfectly with the timber rafters above us. And then LED lighting. LED is a game changer. It can be added just about anywhere in the home, and you can see how it accents the stone beautifully on this fireplace. I'm out here on the private master suite deck. The views are extraordinary. Most decks have a view that is straight out. This deck has a view of the entire lake. Imagine sipping your morning coffee to this extraordinary sight. Now that we're on the exterior of the home, it's a good time to talk about the maintenance-free aspects of this design. This may look like wood, but it's actually a concrete timber facade. It's going to be maintenance-free from the actual siding to the trim work. So this product will never need to be stained. It also has fire-resistant properties. So if you're in a state that has wildfire mitigation codes, this is going to be a great product to utilize in your home. The entire exterior of this home is maintenance-free. From the first floor facade, which is the concrete timber product, the dormers that have stone, the maintenance-free shakes on the gable ends, and even the exterior windows has a maintenance-free cladding. We have aluminum powder coat painted, maintenance-free railing. The decking is even maintenance-free. It's a composite decking that doesn't get hot on your feet to touch. Your pets will love it. And it's also non-slip when it gets wet. We're back here in the master suite. Let's go take a look at this great master bathroom. As you walk in, you're gonna see this amazing view that we have even from the master shower. Here's a great tip for your walk-in tiled showers. Mount your handle sets where you walk in, not underneath your overhead rain cans and your body sprays. Let the water warm up before you jump in. As a continuation of the theme upstairs, we did no curb in this shower as well. And we also added some other aging in place features like grab bars, high-rise toilets, 3-foot doors are throughout, and lever handles let you age in place with your new home. Typically you wouldn't want your plumbing on an exterior wall, but what we did here is for a wall on the inside of the exterior wall. This allowed the plumbing to run up to the handle sets. And then that also allowed us to use a built-in mirror above the vanities. We've got some very unique trough style faucets. The nautical theme is carried throughout this bathroom as well, ties in with the rest of the house. And then if you notice, this kind of worn edge on the stone vanity top complements very well with our worn edge timbers. Cabinetry is not just for kitchens and baths anymore. We design a lot of cabinetry for walk-in closets. This is a great example of a great use of cabinetry in a walk-in closet. You can see everything would have a space, Everything's nice and tidy, and the homeowners love it. We're here in the mudroom. Great location, right between the garage and the kitchen. Some extra or added appliances in here. We've got a second fridge. So if you need extra storage for drinks for the boat, ice for the cooler, it's easily accessed right here and then out the door to the lake. So this room also serves as the laundry room. So if you've got dirty towels, swimsuits, again, coming up from the lake, easily accessible, easily washed with the washer and dryer right here. There's also two massive closets, two double doors, 5 foot wide closets, gonna house all your hats, coats, jackets, boots for all seasons. Now let's take a look at the garage. One thing you'll notice as we're walking into the garage, no step down. So we raised the foundation of the garage to make it level with the floor of the house. There's no steps into the home. Again, just some of the design features that we incorporate into our homes. So this garage is really an extension of the home. It's finished just like the interior of the main home. There's drywall here. We've got the heavy hand-hewn base and case around all the doors and windows. The floor has a heavy-duty, extra tough epoxy finish. The floors are heated. So again, this is really an extension of the main home. Speaking of extensions of the main floor, let's go take a look at the finished basement. So we're here in the finished lower level. You can see we've got not one, but 2 timber staircases in this home. As we move through, you can see the opportunities that you have in the family room here. It's basically a clean slate. We have a rough-in for a future kitchenette. There's already a wood-burning fireplace, a hand-hewn mantle that matches the rest of the mantles in the home, LED lighting, which again accents the stone, a nice cubby for the wood that you're gonna use in the real wood-burning fireplace. So there's an additional 2 bedrooms in the lower level, along with a third room that's considered a flex room. It could be the 3rd bedroom and 5th total bedroom in this house. So with the door being here, I could see this room being used as a storage room, the flex room, to house the fishing poles, the lake equipment, beach chairs, towels, being easily brought up from the lake and stored out of the weather. And now let's go check out the mechanical room. Before we head in, there's a 4th bathroom in the lower level as well. So now here is essentially the brains of the home. The home is completely smart enabled. You can control lights, shades, fireplaces by the touch of your phone. Here's the cabinet that houses all the equipment, and the Control 4 system is also enclosed in here as well. If you want to learn more about the smart home technology we can do in our homes, we'll put a link in the description below taking you to the new home show for a deeper dive. Here's another cool feature about this home is their electric bill is 0 because this home is solar ready. There's solar panels on the south side of the garage, and they actually sell electricity back to the power company. We've been seeing an increase in this feature in our homes. If you want to learn more about solar ready, we're going to put a link in the description below. Let's go head outside. Your front door is often the first impression clients get of your home, and this door certainly makes a statement. 42 inches wide, 8 foot tall, real alder wood. It certainly makes a statement and a big first impression. Your guests are gonna appreciate that the front door is also covered by a porch. It's gonna protect your guests from rain, snow, and even gonna also prevent you from having to shovel out in front of those doors. Speaking of doors, this home features large insulated wood garage doors. This door is 18 foot wide, 8 foot tall, gonna be plenty large enough to pull a big truck in, open doors with plenty of room on either side. This door over here is 10 foot wide, 8 foot tall. You're gonna be able to pull a boat in, UTV, or even snowmobiles. Something we don't see too often are copper gutters. They're gonna develop a nice patina color like we see here on the chimney cap.
Tucked deep within a private wooded lot and opening onto the water's edge, this home is as secluded as it is expansive. 17,000 square feet, 6 bedroom suites, 9 bathrooms. Glass walls frame the landscape, while hand-hewn timbers and stone bring warmth and character. Entire levels are devoted to gathering, retreat, and play, making this more than a home, but an experience we're about to explore. We begin this tour in the Great Room. A towering wall of glass rises at the rear of the home, greeting guests the moment they enter and filling the space with daylight. Glass defines the feature wall and continues onto the sides, so the wooded landscape and water beyond remain part of the view. Anchoring the room is a massive fireplace, its chase stretching more than 13 feet wide and 18 feet tall. Varying depths add richness and dimension, while the scale feels perfectly matched to the volume of the room. Large hand-hewn timbers stand in contrast to smooth wall surfaces and stonework, while lowered window lines keep sight lines open, an approach Golden Eagle is known for in their mountain and lakefront designs. Despite the immense scale, the palette feels natural and welcoming. Rich timbers, solid stone, and layered lighting that shifts the atmosphere from day into evening. From here, the flow carries seamlessly into the kitchen. This is a kitchen built for hosting at scale, yet designed to work efficiently every day. At the center is a 16.5-foot island with seating for 7 and a large integrated sink. Matching refrigerators flank the work zone for symmetry and storage, while a 48-inch Wolf gas cooktop anchors the cooking area. Frameless cabinetry keeps the look modern and practical, paired with LED under-cabinet lighting for a bright, functional workspace. Every detail has been planned to avoid pinch points, so even with a full house, the flow remains effortless. The kitchen connects directly to the dining room, creating a natural extension for entertaining. The dining room is enclosed by massive folding glass doors. Closed, they create a quiet and intimate space. Open, they connect the room fully to the outdoors. A second set of doors holds a retractable screen, so the entire room can open wide while still capturing a steady cross breeze. Overhead, a brick-patterned barrel vault shapes the ceiling with bold character. Adjacent, the Four Seasons room continues the flow. Set within a turret, it features a round raised hearth and an arched fireplace chase for added depth and dimension. This fireplace is one of several throughout the home, mixing both wood-burning and gas. Natural light fills the turret, while a dramatic chandelier of multiple hanging fixtures emphasizes the volume and scale of the space. Glass partitions tie this area back into the rest of the home, keeping the sight lines open and the spaces visually connected. Inside another turret, the laundry room becomes its own showcase. Round cabinetry and curved wall finishes echo the architecture, while expansive folding surfaces and abundant storage make it highly practical. A patterned hexagonal tile in cool tones anchors the room with style against the more muted walls. Just beyond are a dog washing station and a full pantry. This wing also opens to a bright game board and sitting area, filled with natural light and lined with generous bench seating, the perfect spot when the grandkids are over. From here, we enter the primary suite, where the architecture takes on a softer, more intimate tone. The freestanding tub is the centerpiece, framed by dark accent panels that rise to the ceiling and reflect the light above. Overhead, timber beams span the vaulted ceiling, giving the room both structure and grandeur. A contemporary chandelier with a constellation of glass fixtures hangs prominently above, emphasizing the height of the space. On either side, his and hers vanities, a walk-in shower, and a separate powder area complete the layout. The bedroom is expansive, anchored by a fabric-lined accent wall that softens the space. A massive wall of windows frames views of the wooded lot and waterfront, filling the room with natural light. Across the way, a large walk-in closet provides abundant storage. Just outside, the layout remains practical, with a nearby powder room and direct access to the main staircase, leading both upstairs and down. Metal detailing gives the stairs an industrial edge, balanced by driftwood-toned finishes for a modern touch. Open timber treads allow light to pass through, brightening the center of the home. From the loft, the view stretches across the great room and out through the massive window wall. The chandeliers that hang in the center of the home can be seen up close, revealing their scale and detail. Here, the size of the timbers is most evident, large beams tied together with rafters that also support a glass-railed catwalk. Double posts repeat throughout, a consistent design element carried into the loft's railing system. Just beyond, the terrace is set slightly lower, so sightlines stay clear. A glass railing keeps the focus on the view, while broad teak slats define the floor surface. Overhead, two large timber trusses echo those of the great room, tying the spaces together. Corner windows extend the view without interruption, part of the home's energy-efficient glazing system. Each suite begins with a vestibule entry for privacy from the common hall. The two rear rooms face the water and enjoy lookout balconies with huge patio doors and dedicated screens, perfect for a crisp fall breeze and a morning coffee. Each has its own ensuite bath with tiled shower, and each looks down into the Four Seasons room enclosed by its turret. Facing the front of the home, the third suite occupies the turret. It offers generous volume, a chandelier above, and soft reflected light off the curved ceiling. Electronic blinds operate by remote or on schedule, open to wake, close to wind down. Like the others, it includes an attached bath with its own tiled shower. The loft includes a kitchenette designed for convenience with open shelving, generous counter space, a refrigerator, sink, and microwave. Nearby, a dedicated laundry room adds everyday function for this level. From here, the loft extends toward one of the home's most distinctive spaces. Of the home's 6 bedrooms, this one alone sleeps 8, ideal for hosting, with its own ensuite bath and a walk-in closet. From here, a glass-railed catwalk spans across the great room, set among massive hand-hewn timbers with views in both directions. On the opposite wing, the catwalk leads to a reading nook built into a flat dormer, complete with a daybed for a quiet place to pause. From here, the tour continues to the lower level. This level of the home is designed for large gatherings and events. A full bar features traditional full overlay cabinetry in a rich walnut tone. Backlit shelving highlights the bottle displays, while natural light carries in from the outdoor fire pit terrace. A massive structural column anchors the room, emphasizing the scale of the space. A barn door at the stair base keeps the noise contained when things get lively. There's even space here for a shuffleboard table. The vault door, set into a massive stone wall, becomes sculptural art with its simple copper penny finish. A gas fireplace and a huge screen create a true game day or movie night setup. Seating is divided into 3 zones. A large sectional at the center, built-in seating with tables along the back wall and oversized swivel chairs for flexible conversation. Polished concrete flooring grounds the space, while industrial-style lighting completes the look. Behind double barn doors is a custom play space designed for both fun and function. Full-height shelving with built-in drawers lines each side of the room, offering organized storage to keep toys and games neatly in place. A wall of windows floods the space with natural light, while the checkered flooring defines the room with bold character. Golden Eagle engineers their homes to support smart home technology, planning the infrastructure so every system has a place. In this home, a dedicated hub holds 3 bays of equipment that connect the servers and components. Tablets mounted on the walls make it easy to manage lighting, shades, and fireplaces throughout the home. Inside the turret beneath the Four Seasons room sits a beautiful guest suite. The ensuite features frameless cabinetry, a tiled shower, and a separate powder area. Just beyond, an outdoor shower, perfect for rinsing off after time on the water before heading back to the bedroom suite. Just above the outdoor shower, the garage takes its place along this side of the home. The doors are a standout, swinging open on side hinges rather than lifting overhead. They're tall and wide enough to frame large vehicles while still keeping the front elevation composed. The outer stall is sunken to provide clearance for an RV, with vaulted ceilings high enough to allow for a basketball hoop. Additional doors at the back make the space fully pull through. Close to both the garage and the main kitchen, this covered outdoor kitchen and dining space is built for convenience. A built-in grill with a dedicated fuel line is paired with stainless steel cabinetry and a full ventilation hood. The dining area sits just beside, sheltered by a continuation of the home's barrel-vaulted ceiling. Open to the outdoors yet directly connected to the home's service areas, this space is designed for effortless entertaining. At the back of the home, the exterior detailing carries through the same design language seen inside. Arches outside echo arches within, while stone is used in rugged, generous measure, its tones tying into the surrounding hardscaping. Wavy edge cedar accents break into the stone for contrast. The great room's feature wall rises here as well, its glazing reflecting the sky and flanked by turrets on either side. Instead of a flat wall, the surface is stepped forward in places, creating a pilaster effect for depth and dimension. Beneath the arches, the bar extends to a covered hangout with a gas fire pit fueled by propane for instant light and warmth. Siltstone accents appear below windows and at transitions from stone to timber, subtle details that add richness. Given the height of the structure, exterior lighting is handled with wall sconces placed within reach, avoiding the need for high soffit fixtures. The front approach is grand. The turret shows off with pilaster accents and even a decorative timber projecting for extra detail, purely aesthetic, set against many genuine structural expressions throughout. Stacked flat dormers deliver bold contrast to the eyebrow roofs over the garage and at the turret's crown. Vertical board and batten plays against horizontal wavy edge cedar. A substantial band board spans the facade and repeats inside, reinforcing a sense of structure and integrity from exterior to interior. Even the roof earns attention, a distinctive pattern of extra-thick shingles that cast deep shadow lines. Center stage is the covered porch with double entry doors, 8.5 feet wide, beneath a vestibule framed by timber rafters. Dreamy, composed, and unmistakably Golden Eagle. While impressive in scale, this home is grounded in warmth, detail, and everyday function.
Hey everyone, we're in upstate New York, checking out the latest version of the Timberlake design. Trust us, this one is next level. From fresh design upgrade to some cool new features, you're not gonna wanna miss this. Let's go check it out. Wow, this place is amazing. It's one thing to design the home on paper, but to see these homes come to life is truly epic. The main level features a master suite over my shoulder behind me, a sweeping open concept between the kitchen, dining, and great room, a guest bathroom and bedroom. Let's get into it. Let's start right here in the heart of the home, and that's the kitchen. Let's first talk about layout. There was 2 islands in this kitchen, and they both serve different purposes. One is more of a service or prep area, and one is more set up for serving. We have different materials on these islands. One has a nice dark countertop. One has a more lighter finish. The cabinets are different as well. It's a subtle difference, but it was intentional. And here is the famous Timberlake coffee bar beverage station. Clients love incorporating this feature into their kitchen. It moves that beverage station off of the main focal point of the kitchen. And speaking of focal points, we can't overlook this custom handmade hood. The steel and the copper, the hammer copper, echoes well with some of the other colors and features in the kitchen, like the backsplash, the graining in the countertop, and even pulls in the brown tones from the timber trusses above. The textured glass gives a ton of gradient in these upper cabinets, and it's a common theme throughout the backsplash. A great way to hide some of the appliances is to have them panel ready. So we apply a cabinet panel to the face of that appliance, and it blends with the rest of the cabinetry. You can see here, these appliances are exposed along with the drawer microwave. This microwave pulls out. You can actually see the dish before pulling it out. And it also removes the microwave from that feature wall of the kitchen design. As I'm working to the serving bar, this homeowner was all about the details. Just check out the detail on the end panel here. It matches the tile backsplash. The colors play well with the custom-made stools and also the cabinet pulls. So to finish out some of the kitchen details, again, you'll see the 2-tone colors of cabinets, and they did switch up the pulls as they switch colors with the cabinetry. The client loved the fact that we designed big drawers. It's easy to access those big items without having to bend over and reach for them. I also love the mini outlets that are on the serving bar, so you can plug in your crock pots and hot plates. You also see a second dishwasher for those large gatherings, and also a warming drawer. My favorite part of the kitchen is this amazing view. These views wouldn't be possible without Pella windows. These picture units are unobstructed, no screens. The views go from the master bedroom to the guest bedroom, front to back. The views are endless. In the great room, there's so many good things to talk about. One thing that definitely catches your eye is the fireplace. It's all about family gathering, and what better place to do that around a wood-burning fireplace. So many good features here. The stone mantle, the soldier course that matches the arch of the fireplace, and then don't forget the Samsung frame TV. To finish off this space, we can't forget the beautiful handcrafted Morrison tenon, hand-hewn timber trusses, a signature of a Golden Eagle home. Now let's go check out the master. Wow, check out these vaulted ceilings, this feature wall, and this beautiful morning coffee spot. This cabinetry was custom designed by our team at Golden Eagle. It frames out this bed beautifully, and the color from the cabinetry was matched to the beamwork in the rest of the room. And as you can see, the beamwork is now smooth instead of the hand hewing. In the original Timberlake design, it called for a soaking tub here. This homeowner opted for a sitting area, and I think it was a perfect choice with views like this. I also love that there's access to the rear deck. As we move into the master bath, we have his and her matching walk-in closets, complementary makeup station, and then dual matching sinks. As we look at her vanity, I love the valance that softens the light. And as we move down into the stone top, you can see the cutout that was created by the extra depth in the cabinetry. It's a nice touch. I like the fact that we brought the vaulted ceilings from the bedroom into the bathroom, opening this space up. To my right, we have the walk-in shower. To my left, the water closet. And behind me, we have the large windows that let in a ton of natural light. Man, I love these 8-foot tall doors. Really opens the space up. Now that we're finished with the master suite, let's move into the guest suite. Welcome to one of the many guest bedrooms in this home. Check out these amazing vaulted ceilings and that impressive view. In this room, we went with a lighter tone theme. A great way to do that is some whitewash shiplap, which adds a ton of texture and depth and dimension. One thing to think about when designing your home is removing those shades from the inside of the window. A great way to do that is incorporating those shades into the hinged third panel of these Pella windows. A theme you'll see throughout the design of this home is bringing the family closer together. We didn't need a lot of closet space, so we opted to design a bunk room adjacent off the main bedroom. Here we are on the first floor bathroom. A couple cool features in here are the extended depth cabinetry, which creates some more dimension with the vanity top. We now moved into stained cabinetry, which matches the interior doors. And another feature that we pulled in from the rest of the home was the heaviness of the base, case, and ceiling bandboard. The biggest feature that I love about this bathroom is its location. It's adjacent to the guest bedroom, but also near the mudroom. Let's go check it out. The key feature of the mudroom is the storage capabilities. We have large drawers, massive doors, nice bench area, place to put your boots, shoes, hooks for your jackets and hats. We have a cool custom-made timber bench, this amazing timber weatherwood accent wall, and then just behind me, we have the laundry room. Two considerations when designing a laundry room is definitely a lot of storage space and a lot of countertop space. We also went with light cabinetry in here to make the room feel brighter and larger. Now that we're wrapped up with the first floor, let's go take a look at the lower level. At Golden Eagle, when we're designing a basement, we're thinking about entertainment. This level of the home features 3 beds, 2 baths, an open concept entertainment area, and a special room you're not gonna wanna miss. Welcome to the focal point of the lower level. It certainly is the bar area. You can see up above me, we have the iconic timber accent, steel corrugated roof system. We have the custom rustic pine top. We then switched up the countertops here, went with granite behind the bar, and also you can see we brought through that patinaed copper corrugated metal as an accent piece behind the bar. It really plays well with the custom-made wire racking shelving and also the Hubbardton Forge fixtures above me. This client utilizes this home in the wintertime, so a second fireplace was a must. We designed this massive stone fireplace in the lower level, which is anchored by a handcrafted timber mantle. So when entertaining large groups, you want to stay connected. One way to do that is with large spaces. 10-foot ceilings certainly achieves a big, roomy feeling in here. So whether you want to sit at one of the chairs or spin around at the bar, you can certainly stay connected and enjoy the big game. Speaking of a good game, imagine playing on a 150-year-old restored pool table with epic views like this. We're in the lower level where we've got 2 matching guest bedrooms. Check out the windows flanking each side of the bed and the awesome double-hewn wood accent walls. A couple other features that we've brought in from the rest of the home is our hand-hewn base, case, and ceiling bandboard. Both bedrooms are gonna feature a closet for storage, and in between the bedrooms is a shared bathroom. A 100-year-old barn is what sold this client on this property. We've carried that theme throughout the guest bedrooms with the beautiful barnwood doors and barnwood accent walls. We've mirrored the bunkhouse theme from above. I've got storage to my left, and we've got a bathroom big enough for a family. So you're definitely gonna have your options when you come to Golden Eagle. One option to discuss is the type of vanity. This is a furniture style vanity, which means that it has open legs. It's not attached to the wall. It has some nice open shelving down below to hide toiletry bags. And that open shelving also allows the flooring to go underneath, giving that smaller space maybe a larger feel. So below me is a 600-foot well. With a well that deep, we have to think about pressure systems, filtering that water, and this home also features an automatic shutoff. So if the homeowner is away and there happens to be a leak, that system will automatically shut the water off, giving you that peace of mind. This home also features in-floor radiant heat. That's in the lower level, first floor, and garage floors. This is the meticulously laid out piping that you see here. We also have a backup heating system, air conditioning, and a completely separate room for electrical and smart home systems. My golf swing might not, as any theater room should be, it should be soundproof. This room is already encapsulated in concrete, but we've also added this acoustic wall. So whether you're turning up the volume on a great movie or getting noisy with the boys late at night in the golf simulator, you're not gonna disturb the rest of the house. So that wraps up the inside. Let's go take a look outside. When it comes to entertaining spaces, we're not limited to just the interior of the home. We can expand outside of the home. Look at the thousands of square feet for entertaining. There's definitely not a shortage of space out here. It's not just about building a home, it's about building a destination for everyone. So that's why the homeowner put in a pickleball court and a basketball hoop for the grandkids. This outdoor pavilion adjacent to the pickleball court adds protection from the weather, the sun. There's an outdoor kitchen. Now let's go check out the pool. Nothing beats a day at the pool. Imagine hanging out with family and friends on the bluestone patio, taking a dip in the pool or the hot tub, or lounging in one of the many outdoor spaces. Speaking of which, let's go up top. This place is all about the view. As we're upstairs, I want to take a moment to talk about the exterior of the home. This home features our proprietary 10-inch double-hewn siding, 10-inch vertical corners, hand-split cedar shakes. We've also added another texture with a cultured stone. We're out here on the covered porch, which is an extension of the interior living space. We also extended the architecture of the interior with the timber trusses. The beautiful timber trusses are the same ones that you're gonna see on the inside of the home. And as I move down, I see the beautiful maintenance-free railing, maintenance-free custom-made caps. The walk-in surface is Tamco Evergreens decking, which is maintenance-free as well. And below that is a rain catch system, which protects the patio below. As you can see, building a home of this caliber takes a lot of design and consideration. This homeowner was all about the details. It was a dream for them, a dream for us to build this home with them. We've built over 6,000 homes across North America. When you're ready to make your dream a reality, give us a call.
Beyond a private runway in Michigan sits a luxurious timber home by Golden Eagle Log and Timber Homes. Rustic in character, refined in detail, and built to gather family for generations. This is where timeless design meets lasting legacy. Let's see what makes this home so unique. Arriving at the property, the first feature to greet you is the grand portico. "12 by 12 hand-hewn beams anchor the structure, supported by exposed craftsman-style trusses with decorative metalwork. The scale is deliberate, setting the tone for the home's architectural presence. The double front doors measure 8 feet tall and 6 feet wide, framed by custom windows that flood the foyer with light. Even the garage echoes this craftsmanship, with timber posts dividing each bay and a covered entry that feels equally intentional. These design choices extend across the exterior, tying every element together. Along the side of the home, the outdoor living area is anchored by a pool designed for both play and relaxation. The shallow splash pad doubles as a lounging area, perfect for in-water seating during summer afternoons. Surrounding patios provide plenty of space for guests, and generous roof overhangs connect the outdoor architecture back to the timber detailing of the home. A nearby pergola adds another layer of flexibility to the outdoor living space. It provides shaded seating and can fully convert into an enclosed area with retractable screens or clear plastic panels, perfect for bug-free evenings or light rain, extending the use of this space well beyond summer days. This layout allows seamless movement between the pool deck and the interior. Wide patio doors open fully, blending indoor and outdoor living for gatherings of any size. Golden Eagle's signature craftsmanship is woven throughout the exterior. Gable dormers add natural light to the upper levels while breaking up the roofline's mass. Rain chains replace traditional downspouts, channeling water into stone basins before carrying it underground. A functional detail presented beautifully. A towering stone fireplace chase climbs the exterior, capped with a decorative chimney top. The combination of quarry stone and horizontal timbers creates layered textures that define the home's character and tie the exterior together. Just off the pool area, a transitional gathering room connects outdoor living with the home's main interior. Stamped concrete flooring continues from outside, while Golden Eagle's signature double-hewn timbers and exposed trusses create a cohesive look. Sliding operable doors connect this room to the open-concept kitchen, dining, and living space. They can remain open to unify the spaces during large gatherings or closed to create a quieter, more private area. A thoughtful design detail that adapts to the homeowner's needs. A raised hearth fireplace, topped with a hand-hewn timber mantle, adds warmth and casual seating. Convenient his and her bathrooms and dual shower rooms are located nearby for guests using the pool or outdoor spaces. The heart of the home is a sweeping, open-concept space combining the kitchen, dining, and great room. Massive mortise and tenon timber trusses span overhead, framing 2 statement chandeliers and soaring ceilings. Large windows flood the room with indirect natural light, highlighting the craftsmanship throughout. A floor-to-ceiling stone fireplace topped with a reclaimed timber mantle anchors the space, adding warmth and rustic character. This Golden Eagle home embraces a balanced approach, combining rich wood elements with drywall finishes that highlight architectural details and create contrast. It blends warmth, light, and detail in every room, showcasing a look more and more homeowners are going for. Over the kitchen, a custom timber structure adds both function and style. It helps define the space within the open floor plan, gives the pendant lights a proper place to hang, and creates a cozy, grounded feeling beneath the tall ceilings. It's a standout feature that brings character and visual interest, with natural light filtering through the upper windows. The kitchen blends rustic hickory cabinetry with dark-stained accents, handcrafted inset doors, and a massive island topped in leathered granite. The range hood and paneled Sub-Zero refrigerator both feature a unique textured finish that adds depth and contrast. Custom metal accents on the cabinetry carry a consistent, refined aesthetic throughout the space. The apron-front farmhouse sink is divided for added functionality, making prep and cleanup easy during busy gatherings. A travertine backsplash adds natural warmth and dimension, its varying depths and textures catching the light just right. Professional-grade appliances, including a Wolf cooktop with a convenient pot filler, elevate function without sacrificing style. Details are purposeful, over 60 inches of clearance between counters for easy movement, and matching appliance panels provide a seamless, integrated look. At the island, custom metal stools are built directly into the cabinetry. Each one swivels out when needed and tucks away just as easily. The adjacent pantry mirrors the kitchen's design and includes additional workspace and a sink, ideal for coffee prep or staging meals during events. The dining table seats 18, a testament to this home's focus on family and entertaining. Above this space, a loft provides one of the best vantage points in the home. From this height, the scale and joinery of the massive timber trusses can be fully appreciated, a hallmark of Golden Eagle's craftsmanship. A custom turnbuckle railing ties into metal accents used elsewhere, including the dining chairs below. The loft also overlooks the entry foyer, where another striking feature wall creates a dramatic first impression. Here, the rustic timber ceiling contrasts with clean drywall surfaces, highlighting the mix of textures that define this home's character. Over the garage, a private guest suite offers everything for a comfortable and independent stay, with room to relax, unwind, and feel at home. Golden Eagle's exposed timber trusses give the space its own character and sense of scale, making the suite feel just as thoughtfully designed as the rest of the home. There's a dedicated kitchen, a comfortable living area, a full bathroom, and multiple sleeping options, including a cozy nook tucked beneath the roofline, accessed by a ship's ladder that adds a fun, cabin-like touch. Dormer windows bring in plenty of light, and the overall layout is both efficient and inviting. Guests can enter the suite from inside the home through the main entry, or they can use a separate exterior stairway that connects directly to the driveway. That added privacy makes it ideal for extended family, visiting friends, or even longer stays, giving everyone their own space without interrupting the flow of the main home. The master wing is designed for privacy and comfort. A hallway buffers it from the main living space and houses the home's primary laundry area, complete with an apron-front sink, custom-built pedestals to raise the washer and dryer, and natural light streaming through nearby windows. Past the hallway, the master suite opens to views of the rolling landscape, framed by large windows and timber trusses overhead. Subtle uplighting on the trusses creates a warm evening glow. The ensuite bath begins with a spacious vanity area, complete with dual sinks, ample counter space, and generous storage. Just off to the side, a large walk-in closet keeps everything organized and easily accessible. A private powder room is tucked inside the suite, and a walk-in tile shower offers both comfort and function in a clean, streamlined layout. The finished lower level transforms into an entertainment hub. A dedicated theater features custom reclining seats and a retractable screen hidden in a timber cavity, blending modern technology with handcrafted design. Nearby, another kitchen and built-in booth seating make hosting large gatherings easy. It's a favorite hangout spot for the grandchildren. A dedicated cubby space under the stairs provides storage and a playful nook for kids, one of many thoughtful family-oriented touches in this home. This level includes 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, offering plenty of sleeping space for guests. Even here, details like 10-inch hand-hewn baseboards tie the lower level back to the craftsmanship found upstairs. Around the side and rear of the home, the exterior remains just as intentional as the front. All mechanicals, including HVAC units, the generator, and other utilities, are discreetly tucked away, preserving the home's aesthetics and maintaining a clean, uninterrupted view from every angle. Every decision in this home tells a story, one of tradition, quality, and Golden Eagle craftsmanship. Ready to build your legacy? Visit Golden Eagle today.
From the moment you step inside, you'll see what makes this home special. Timber details, cozy spaces, and a style that's all its own. Let's take a look inside. Hey everybody, John Went with Golden Eagle Log and Timber Homes. We're so excited to show you the 1,700 square foot timber home today. This house features 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. But let's start right here in the center of the home with this feature wall. So this home features our prow wall. Now we call it a prow wall because it mimics the prow of a ship. Gives you 180-degree views. And one other cool thing is this trim. I mean, look how massive this 4x12 hand-hewn trim is. Special to Golden Eagle. You don't see that too many homes or too many other places. Another great feature I like about this prow wall is all the glass in it. Look how we designed this one. So we've got 2 6-foot patio doors with 2 large fixed panes of glass that go all the way down to the floor. Just gives that unobstructed view right outside. Carrying through the center of the home, we feature these impressive 8x8 arched timber accent trusses. I mean, those are just beautiful. And they highlight the windows above the kitchen, allowing all that natural light to come in, along with the feature wall's natural light. I mean, this house is lit up all day long. Just look how impressive those trusses look against that rustic ceiling too. I love the color choices the client selected in this home. The darker charcoal stain really pulls out the darker knots in the ceiling. I just love this fireplace over here too. You know, there's so many options when it comes to fireplaces. You could choose wood, you could choose gas. There's even conversion ones now where they can go from gas to wood. This particular client chose a gas unit. They did a terracotta cultured stone with this massive chase. I just love that. It was important to the customer, obviously, with the feature wall to take advantage of views, so the fireplace is off to the side, so that's unobstructed views outside. I like how the lighting too highlights off that stone, just really gives it a nice look. And how can we forget about this impressive hand-hewn timber mantle? Just ties in with the trim, the trusses, just that timber ambiance feel in this home. Another great feature about this floor plan layout is the open staircase. This home features our timber stairs with an impressive 8-foot wide stair section. And with it right by the front door, it just adds so much rustic charm to the home right when you walk in. Now, just imagine if instead of the railing was here, we walled this whole staircase off. It would close in the space. It would make it feel so much tighter. But by eliminating that wall, having this open railing with these black aluminum spindles that just allow you to visually see through that space, allows all that light to go through, it just adds the feeling that there's that much more square footage to this space. Here's a great tip when considering your front door. This client wanted to still maintain a lot of natural light coming through, but wanted some privacy. So we suggested we go with a rain glass texture on the window and the side light. Now this door is a fiberglass wood grain texture, 3-panel shaker style. And as we continue this tour, you'll notice that that profile carries throughout the home on all the interior doors as well. One thing that's great about this floor plan too is just the open concept between the kitchen, living room, and dining space. Now this is a vacation home for this customer, so it was crucial to them to be able to have a large island for people to be able to sit around while still not feeling separated from everybody else when everyone's hanging out. So these are rustic alder cabinets, a little bit lighter color than what you're gonna see on the island, which is also a rustic alder. Over here, we've got a 33-inch Blanco farmhouse sink. Really ties into that rustic feel and that rustic charm of this home. Now here's something you may not have seen before. This is a great accessory for blind cabinets. You simply pull out the drawer, slide it over, and now you can access things back in the corner. Now in the upper cabinets, you'll notice we did staggered heights. We've got a taller cabinet in the corner, a taller cabinet above the refrigerator, and a taller cabinet at the end. That's really aesthetically pleasing to the eye. Another thing we did in the corner here is we brought the cabinet out a little bit. Again, just giving some different dimensions to the room and the space. Another great feature is these deep drawer bases. I really like that for storing pots and pans, things like that. Makes them really easy to access. That's a ceramic tile to mimic a brick, but it really plays with that lighter color off the lighter granite countertops. I think that's great. And the stainless steel range hood, very nice. Goes along with all the other stainless appliances. And speaking of appliances, here's another benefit about working with Golden Eagle Log and Timber Homes. We're always thinking about the little details. Over here, we framed in the refrigerator with extra deep end panels that allowed us to bring the cabinets out to the front of the fridge as opposed to tucked back normal wall height. Makes them more accessible, easier to access. Now let's talk about this island. We've got another prep sink over here. Very handy for if someone's over at the main sink getting stuff ready. You got the prep sink over here. It features the no-touch faucet. Great for while you're cooking or prepping food. Simply tap that on and off. Another feature is on the sink base. Now typically if the drawer was at the top, your plumbing would be in the way. Therefore it would have to be like a false drawer, unusable space. This way you still have the storage space. Now I really like this pop-up outlet. Imagine you've got all this countertop space. The last thing you want to do is have cords hanging everywhere. Simply push down and out comes your outlet. We've got our traditional outlet on one side, our USB ports on the other, and our wireless charging station on top. And over here we have the microwave conveniently built into the island. What I like about that is it keeps it out of view from the cabinetry on the perimeter of the cabinets, and it's also a little more functional. You can easily get items in and out of that as opposed to reaching up too high. Now as we come around to this side of the island, it was important when we were designing this kitchen to take into consideration that the island sits open to both the dining room and the great room. So we didn't want to see just a flat back panel on the cabinetry. So what we did here, if you remember, we have the microwave drawer over here. We put a false end panel on the end of the cabinet there. Really carries through that look to make it look like the cabinets just wrap right around. Now on the other side of this one, we had the sink base. Therefore, we have the extra storage that we could actually put doors on and get storage. Another great thing about this island is the flush toe kick. When you do a flush toe kick, it really makes the cabinet feel almost more like a built-in piece of furniture as opposed to cabinetry. Now, I mentioned these windows earlier, but let's just take a second to appreciate just how much natural light is pouring into this kitchen. Speaking of lighting, you may have seen toe kick lighting before, but what you might not have seen is lighting underneath the countertop. That's just great. We carried the lighting through with under and above cabinet lighting as well. Now carrying through the center section of this home, we flow right into the dining space. Here we've got a big enough table to sit 6 people. As we wrap around, carries us right out to the patio. So whether you're grilling outside on the patio or cooking inside, it's centrally located. Now did you notice these? These are actually built-in speakers. The client loves to entertain, so we've got built-in speakers over here, and Speakers integrated in the living room above the TV. And I really like how they tie in with that ceiling finish. Now just behind me is the master suite. Let's head on in there. First thing I notice when I walk in this space is the tall vaulted ceilings and those timber accents on there. Those are 4x8 hand-hewn beams running along that rustic reclaimed ceiling finish, the same as out in the great room. Another really great feature in here is all the natural light we get with this large 6-foot patio door and the 2 casement windows on either side of the bedroom. You're really getting daylight all day long. Another really nice feature about working with Golden Eagle is our 2x6 hand-hewn trim. This is standard in all of our exposed beam packages. It really adds a rustic yet elegant look. We've got 2x6 casing going around all the windows and doors, along with a 2x6 baseboard. Now just imagine if we did a standard base or case trim in a home like this, the scale just would not match. Now over here's the master bathroom. But before we head in there, let's take a second to appreciate this barn door. This is a rustic alder door, just like all the other doors in the house. It's a chocolate stain, which I think plays very nicely with the charcoal trim stain the client selected. We've got the soft closed barn door hardware, which is also playing off the headboard. I think that's a really nice touch. Now in the master bathroom, we have to start with this shower. So the clients came to us and saw our shower display in our showroom and fell in love with it. So we integrated it into their design. And just look at how heavy and massive these shelves are. That's a 4x10 hand-hewn shelf. That's impressive. Really matches everything else going on in this home. Now moving into the shower, I really like how we designated different spaces with the different tile selections, allowing you to see where the shower is versus the floor. But then they continued that floor tile onto the walls. Another great feature about that shower is that impressive window. That's got to be 5 feet long, just allowing all that natural light to flow in there while still having the obscured glass to give you privacy. You'll also find a massive rain head, the shower head, and a handheld lawn. Now, another great thing to consider when you're designing your forever home is aging in place. In this shower, we actually dropped the floor system, so it's a 0 entry shower. Now in the master bathroom, we switched from the older cabinets to a rustic hickory, and we brought in a new color. That way it allows the master to just feel like it's a standalone room. We also still feature the toe kick lighting, so when you get up in the middle of the night and you have to go use the bathroom, you'll have to turn all the lights on. Now up here, we have a Dolomite countertop. The client selected this because it's got a beautiful matte finish. We're topping that off with the Delta wall-mounted faucets. The vessel sinks turned out amazing. Now on this side of the home, we've got 2 bedrooms, 1.5 baths, and the main floor laundry. Let's go take a look. As we enter this space, we're continuing the same 3/4 inch hickory hardwood flooring as we've seen in the rest of the home. Directly off the hallway, we'll find this beautiful half bath. Now this will typically be the bathroom that guests will use. It's conveniently located close enough to the great room, yet still down the hallway far enough to give you privacy. I really like their vanity selection in this half bath as well. By going with an open shelf vanity in a smaller space, it allows the flooring to flow underneath it and your eye to be drawn there, assuming it's a bigger space. Just past the half bath, we've got the mudroom coming in off the garage. In this space, we're featuring rustic hickory cabinetry. I love the bench and the drop zone. Just imagine, you're coming in, you've got your shoes on, you've got your arms full of groceries, you can set stuff down, you can take your shoes off, tuck them underneath the bench, keeping the floor space wide open, grab the bags and carry on into the kitchen. We're also featuring elevated custom height base cabinets in here. This allows for us to carry the countertop across the top of the washer and dryer, giving us more space for folding clothes and storage. Another detail I like in here is the use of a pocket door. This allows us to close off the room when it's not being used, but also keeps the door tucked away so it's not swinging into the cabinet space inside. Around the corner, we'll find one of the guest bedrooms. Now you'll notice the bedroom isn't overly large, yet it feels big. That's because of the vaulted ceilings. We carry that same rustic ceiling finish as seen in the rest of the home, along with the 4x8 hand-hewn timber beams, 4x8 band board, the massive 2x6 casing, and the 2x6 baseboard. That's a great detail. A continuing theme of this home is the use of natural light. You'll notice this room has 3 large windows. This home features Pella 250 series vinyl windows in the fossil color. These are casement style windows, so you get the unobstructed view straight out. As you walk into this room, you're also going to notice the use of wall sconces on this wall. It really gives it almost like a feature wall feeling as you're walking into the space. I think you're going to like what we did with the layout of this bathroom. This is a Jack and Jill bathroom, allowing access for both bedrooms into the bathroom. We're featuring rustic hickory cabinets in the shaker panel door style. We've got a nice Delta 8-inch spread faucet, making it easy for cleanup. We've got this beautiful glass door on this tub. It allows that natural light to come in from the window still, but still gives it that elegance. That's a really nice feature. Another thing I like is what they did with the tile work on the floor, with the herringbone pattern, and then it transitions up into the tile around the tub shower space. And here we are in bedroom number 3. Again, we carried that same vaulted ceiling, giving it a bigger, more luxurious feeling here. The unique thing about this bedroom is we have direct access to the deck. Let's go outside and take a look. Here we are on this beautiful lakeside deck. This deck is featuring our maintenance-free evergreen decking. Nice feature about that decking is it doesn't heat up like your traditional composite decking might. That means when you're out here barefoot or you have pets, they're really going to appreciate that. It's also wood grain texture, which means it's not going to be as slippery. If you're coming in off the lake with wet feet, you got that traction. The deck is also featuring our black maintenance-free railing. This has got the Victorian top rail. We could also get this with a square top rail. I really like that railing because it allows for an unobstructed view. Now this Golden Eagle home was recently completed, but we're starting to see some outdoor living spaces come together. Right off the deck, we've got this wonderful fire pit area. Now if you're thinking about building a Golden Eagle log or timber home, it's important for us to know your lot layout. As you can see with this home, we're featuring a lot of retaining walls. We've got a slope to the side of the house featuring the walkout wall on the side as opposed to the back. So that's why it's really important for us to get that information from you during the design process so we can ensure that the house is going to fit perfectly on your lot. As we continue around to the front of the home, you'll notice we carry that cultured stone around from the walkout wall to the front. Ties in beautifully with the stone pillars and the stone caps on the front. Now you might realize the house behind me isn't your traditional log or timber home, and that's okay. We've been in business since 1966 and have designed over 6,000 homes. No two homes are ever alike. This particular customer wanted that timber style on the inside, but wanted to go with something a little bit more maintenance friendly on the exterior. So we designed it using a 8-inch lap siding. We've got the nice 9-inch polymer shakes up in the gables, and take a look at those windows again up in that gable. It's just beautiful. In fact, speaking of the 6,000 homes we've sold, the neighbor's house is a Golden Eagle log and timber home too. That's our Double Eagle Deluxe model built a few years back. Now let's take a look at the garage. Before we mention that rain glass in the front door, well, here we matched it on the overhead doors. Another nice thing about this garage is the 16-foot wide overhead door, along with your standard single-car garage next to it. Allows enough space for getting in all those lake toys, maybe a boat, some side-by-sides, your truck, no worries. We've also got a beautiful timber truss up in the gable, wrapped in our maintenance-free siding. Now, speaking of curb appeal, one thing I always like to point out to customers, it's important to get multiple colors and textures going on. This home, we've got 3 different colors and textures. We've got the stonework at the bottom and on the pillars. We've got the 8-inch lap siding in the coffee color. We've got the polymer shakes up in the gable in the clay color. I think that just all comes together and really makes this The front of this home feels so inviting and welcoming. Today we're touring a stunning lake home that perfectly blends timeless elegance with rustic warmth. You'll want to watch till the end to see all the details. This client came to Golden Eagle Log and Timber Homes looking to blend two different styles. She was looking for a more elegant feel, while he was looking for a more rustic timber feel. I'm told by the customer, we nailed it. Let's go take a look at the great room. Now when we call it a great room, this truly is a great room. Centrally located in the home, right off the dining room and kitchen. We mentioned that he was looking for a more rustic timber feel. How can we overlook these timber trusses above us? Those are massive 10 by 10 decorative timber accent truss up there. Here we've got this excellent gathering space. I mean, just imagine yourself sitting in here. You're hosting a big party. You've got the family over for Christmas, Thanksgiving. You've got the dining room, the kitchen, just everybody together enjoying the space. Over here, we've got a wood-burning fireplace with a gas igniter. I love how the stone not only goes on the chase, but carries over on the sidewall as well. That really ties in with the hand-hewn trim and the hand-hewn siding, and then the elegant whitewashed ceiling finish above us. Again, combining that rustic and elegant look that they were both looking for. Another thing about this fireplace is the hearth. Now traditionally, you would see the hearth just in front of the fireplace, but in this case, it extends beyond. Not only does it make the fireplace feel larger, but it's also functional. It could provide additional seating should you need it. We've got an amazing lake view out this wall. These windows are so impressive. They're actually almost 9 feet tall by 5 feet wide. I mean, if you think about that, that is basically a patio door in every section here, wrapped with our impressive 4x12 hand-hewn timber siding. We've got Pella Impervia fiberglass windows throughout this entire home. In this case, we did the bronze color, which plays really nicely with the darker trim that we see throughout. We've got hickory flooring flowing throughout the home. What's really nice about that floor selection is it's 2 different tones, so you don't get too overwhelmed with just one solid color. I think the dark knots and the darker grain play very nicely off the darker trim colors, while the lighter tones pick up the lighter tones in the stone on the fireplace and the cabinetry in the ceiling finish. Speaking of seating, over here we've got a dining table large enough to fit 12 people. This customer used a black walnut table, which I think plays very nicely off the hickory flooring. The colors really complement each other. And take a look at that chandelier. We talked about wanting an elegant touch. I think they definitely achieved it with that chandelier. Now before we take a look at the kitchen, let's go look at what the customer tells me is the most used room in the house, the 3 Seasons porch. What makes this a 3 Seasons room is it's actually built right on the deck. Therefore, there's no traditional forced air conditioning, heating. However, we did incorporate these infrared heaters. The client says they can sit out here long into the fall cool nights and still enjoy the space. Something else you might not see every day are these 3 Seasons windows. What's really nice about these is during the summer, you can pull the panels out, giving yourself more of a screen porch feel. Then as the temperatures cool off, or maybe on those rainy nights, you simply put the panels back in, and now you can still enjoy the room. Right off here, we've got access to the deck, but we'll cover that later. Let's go take a look at the kitchen. Here in the kitchen is where I think the client was really able to achieve that elegant look they were going for. By using white cabinets, but with a gray glaze, which plays off very nicely with the honed black Nero granite countertop and the gray backsplash. I think that all ties in really good. The cabinets wrap around, even right around the edge here, out into the foyer, which is a very nice touch. And here we've got this massive island. This island is really multifunctional. Not only does it provide seating, but as we wrap around, we've got the wine cooler with a nice space for beverage making. And here we got the prep sink. So just imagine, you can quickly come in, make yourself a drink, head back in and finish watching the big game without interrupting everybody in the kitchen. And as we come around the island, I think it's really important to point out just how well laid out this kitchen is. When you work with Golden Eagle Log and Timber Homes, you get our kitchen designers at your service, and they did a phenomenal job here. We've got the dishwasher designed just past the edge of the island so that when it's fully open, you still have plenty of walk space and doesn't create that pinch point. We've got convenient appliance locations with the double oven on one wall and your microwave drawer just right across from it, all conveniently located right next to the fridge. So when you're pulling food out, you can prep it right here and heat it up. And just off the kitchen, we've got a pantry to take a look at. In this pantry, customers opted not to go with cabinetry. Instead, they did open shelves. That's really great for larger appliances. If you want to be able to come in and still see what's in here, easily grab it. Up above the countertop, we've got solid wood shelves. Those tie in very nicely with all the beam work, trim work that you see throughout the home. Not only is this pantry conveniently located off the kitchen, but also just steps away from the garage. Imagine you're coming home, you got your arms full of groceries, you don't want to have to walk too far. Here you can just walk right in the pantry and put everything away. So here in the mudroom, we've got this built-in bench. It's a really nice spot for when you're coming in and out of the garage. Take off your shoes, hang up your coat. Right off over this side, we've got this closet. Very convenient for additional storage for cleaning supplies, maybe extra winter coats. And speaking convenience, we've got zero entry coming in from out of the garage. What's really nice about that is there's no steps when you walk in from the garage. And speaking of the garage, we got a lot of great ideas to show you out there later. But for now, let's head back in. And as your guests come in, they're greeted by this massive foyer. Now just imagine, you got a bunch of people over, coming and going. This space is large enough that you can easily put your coat on, put your shoes on, say your goodbyes, your hellos without getting in each other's way. Over here we have our chiseled tongue and groove wall finish. This is a proprietary texture to just Golden Eagle. Up above we've got a massive 4x10 bandboard wrapping the ceiling, and then we top it off with our whitewashed Timberlake ceiling finish. Right off the foyer is a half bath. A couple unique things about this space is the vessel sink. We've also got the awning style window with obscured glass. Still allows natural light to come in, but gives enough privacy. I really like the vanity choice they went with as well. Having that open shelf at the bottom, allowing that flooring to flow underneath. In a smaller space, it really makes it feel bigger. Now the location of this bathroom was really well thought out. Not only is it conveniently located right next to the garage for when you first get home, it's also tucked around the corner from the kitchen, still accessible, but yet gives privacy, and it's going to serve for a special outdoor space that we'll show you later in the film. Now let's head back over this way. So here we are in the master suite, and the first thing that hits me when I walk in this room is just how impressively tall these ceilings are. We're just under 18 feet tall in here. We're featuring the 4x8 beam work up there. In this space, we transitioned from the lighter ceiling finish to a more darker, richer brown. It really brings a warmer feeling into this space. This master bedroom is designed at the corner of the home. So when I look out these windows or the patio doors, I see nothing but lake in both directions. Right off the patio door, we've got this excellent space for sitting, enjoying that cup of coffee, and just taking in those views. Heading down the hallway towards the master bathroom, we've got his and her closets on both sides, and then we enter this phenomenal bathroom. We've got his vanity on one side, we've got her vanity on the other side with a makeup counter. We've got the 0 entry tiled shower. What's great about that is a lot of times in the tiled shower, you might end up with a curb transition over into the shower. Here we've designed the shower to sink down into the floor system. So should you ever end up in a walker or need assistance to get in and out, you don't have that curb to step over. And then directly behind me, we've got the water closet hidden behind the pocket door. Now talking about the vanities, a couple things I'd like to point out. Here we use the deep drawers in the base that provides excellent storage for whether it be towels or hair dryers, things like that. We're using the utility cabinet on top, gives you ample storage above. And then on this side is dedicated for her. Conveniently designed with a lower makeup desk. We've got the tower here for additional storage. The double doors underneath the sink giving you full storage there. Now, right around the corner from the master bedroom is the office. Everybody always talks about how they want the corner office with the view. Well, I think they got it here. Look at that view out those windows. 2 directions. We're featuring our hand-hewn bandboard and beam work on the ceiling. We've got the hand-hewn casing around the doors. And speaking of doors, this home features 8-foot tall, 2-panel arched knotty pine doors throughout the first floor. Just gives it that more luxurious grand feel. Now this is a Golden Eagle log and timber home, but that doesn't mean you can't have drywall finishes. A lot of customers are blending drywall with timber trims, maybe some log accents. And right around the corner, we've got the centrally located laundry room. Now this is really conveniently designed, close to the master bedroom where most of the laundry will be created, but also conveniently located right at the bottom of the stairs for your guests when they're over. Now the door going into the laundry is worth mentioning. We incorporated textured glass on this door. It almost gives it a feeling like there's another window or even a piece of artwork hanging here versus just a standard door. As I come into the laundry room, I'm blown away by the amount of cabinetry we have in here. Look at all the workspace we have too. I mean, you've got plenty of countertop space for folding clothes. You've got a laundry sink here. This sink is actually 16 gauge steel, so it's quieter and more dent resistant. Wrapping around, we've got the pedestal washer and dryer. Lowered down the cabinetry so that you can still easily reach above and access it. Now before we head up the stairs, we gotta take a second to appreciate this artwork. Look at these timber stairs. It features 3 hand-hewn stringers, massive 4x12 treads, our timber-worn edge railing and spindles, and these 8x8 hand-hewn posts. I think this staircase really makes a statement. Not only does it have that timber rustic vibe, but also hits the elegant features that the client was looking for. As we come up to the loft, it just keeps getting better and better. The first thing I notice when I get up here is that amazing view to the lake. And here's a tip. When you're designing the home, we kept the timber accent truss pulled up just slightly enough so that it didn't obstruct the views out the windows. And speaking of that timber accent truss, look at those massive 10x10 timbers up there. We could do that using 8x8, 12x12, or 10x10s when working with Golden Eagle. Here we're carrying that same timber-worn edge railing and spindles as we did on that amazing staircase. Another thing I'm impressed with when I come up into this loft is just the amount of space up here. I mean, look at, we've even got a piano. We've got this excellent area for sitting, playing games, and over here, we've even got a small kitchenette. Imagine you got guests over. They get thirsty in the middle of the night, they want a glass of water. They can just run over here and grab a glass of water without having to go downstairs. Or imagine they wake up in the morning, they don't want to disturb everybody else downstairs, so they go ahead, they can have a cup of coffee, sit here on this couch, and enjoy the sunrise coming off the lake. Upstairs, we've got 2 identical bedrooms. Let's go take a look at one of them. We've got the tall vaulted ceilings, and just look at all that timber work up there. I mean, we've got the timbers wrapped in these inverted valleys. We've got the bandboard. We've got the ridge beam with the ceiling fan mounted. Another thing in these guest bedrooms is both of them feature dormers. What's really nice about a dormer is, picture this, the ceiling would have naturally sloped following these lines. But by framing this dormer out, we pick up this extra space. We also get the window looking out to the lake. In this case, we've got a desk, could be a nice sitting area, really just gives you that flexible space to do whatever you're looking to achieve. Now in the bathroom, we're carrying that same wood ceiling finish. We've got hand-hewn shelving. We've got a nice tiled tub shower unit. I always tell people it's handy to have at least one tub in the house in case you have small children visiting. Really turned out nice. And this door here leads to a unique space over the garage that we'll discuss later in the tour. Here we are in the finished lower level family room. This is a great spot to get creative with some of your wall finishes. For an example, take a look at this custom art piece right here that greets you right as you come into the space. As we come around, we've got a second fireplace. In this case, we used a gas fireplace for the lower level. Look at the size of that chase though. Carried that stonework that was upstairs all the way down. Really sets the tone down here. And look at, we still have the views of the lake from down here. While you're shooting pool or playing games, you're not missing out on those views. We wrapped the windows with our 2x6 hand-hewn trim. We're featuring our chiseled tongue and groove on the walls. And then on the ceiling, we carried that same darker tongue and groove from upstairs down here. Another thing to mention in this family room is this pool table. You'll take a look, you'll notice that the rails and the sides are actually made out of material from Golden Eagle Log and Timber Homes. That's our chiseled tongue and groove finish right there. These were some of our rails that they quartered and used to wrap the top. I'm making our way over this way. The client tells me that the backer behind this dartboard is actually old dock pieces from an existing dock that was on the property. And right through here, we've got some overflow storage. Let's go take a look. Now just imagine, you're coming in off the lake, you got your life vest, you got wet towels. This is a great spot to come right in off the lake. You got easy access to drop all those wet clothes. You've got convenient laundry set up right over here, and we've got overflow storage for all those lake toys. Now there's a door right over here that leads to another space, but we'll show you that a little bit later. On this end of the lower level, we've got a nice big bedroom off to one side. This bedroom features amazing lake views, big enough for 2 beds. And on the other side of the hallway, we've got a full bathroom. Now a couple unique things to point out in this bathroom. One, you'll notice the room is split into 2 separate spaces. By using a pocket door, we're able to divide off the shower and the toilet room and still have access to a vanity. Imagine if someone came in off the lake, they want to take a shower, but you still need access to the sink. We can do that here. Another really nice thing I think they did in this room is the use of brick. We don't see that all the time, but it really plays nice in this space. And at the end of the hallway is the lounge. This room really sets the tone for entertaining. As you enter the space, you're greeted by the reclaimed boards on the ceiling. They even used reclaimed timbers from the original home that sat on this property. Now you may have noticed this in every room throughout the tour. This home is smart enabled. These are Google Nest Minis built right into the wall. You can control the music right from your phone or the main tablet upstairs. They also double as an intercom system. These are really great for if you're hosting gatherings. You can take the music with you throughout the home wherever the party goes. And speaking of party, over here we've got the built-in wet bar. I think this really plays in nice with the timbers on the ceiling. We've got the heavy hand-hewn timber shelving. We've even incorporated some metal accents in the upper cabinet doors. We carry that same rugged brick backsplash that we saw in the bathroom. And then we have a leathered granite countertop with a rock chip edge. Really just adds to that rugged feel of this room. And speaking of rustic rugged feel, we've got a finished concrete floor. What's great about that in this application is we've got the patio door that takes us right out to the beach, the outdoor dining area, the fire pit. By leaving the floor concrete, you're able to come in and out with wet shoes, easily grab a drink, head right back out to the party. You don't have to take your shoes on and off, makes cleanup really easy. And we even have a bathroom conveniently located right next door. And another thing, this entire lower level features in-floor heat. Let's head outside now. And as we exit the lounge, the customer made great use of this covered porch space just below the sitting deck. Excellent for those nights when you want to sit out. Maybe it's raining, still want to be outside, sit at the table over here. We continue on over here. We've got the flagstone patio. We've got a gas-lit wood-burning fire pit. And all this slopes right down to the lake, where we even got another fire pit and some sitting right by the dock. And I just love how this house looks from the lake. Looking back at the house, you'll notice we've got 4 different textures on the home. We're featuring our 2x8 chiseled shiplap siding. We've got the board-on-board in the one gable. We've got the stonework around the foundation and the walkout wall. And we've even got shakes at the other gable. We also did a great job designing this deck. We've got outdoor sitting just off the master. We used our black metal spindles so that we didn't obstruct the view to the lake from the deck. We've got the stairs discreetly tucked in over in the corner so that they're not taking up too much space or obstructing any of the outdoor living space that the client might want to use underneath the deck. And from outside, you'll notice just how massive that feature wall is. This house measures just under 35 feet tall from the grade up to the roof peak. We've got our impressive 4x12 chiseled trim on the feature wall. Now, if you're planning on building on a lake lot, this is definitely something you'll want to consider. These double doors lead to the subterranean garage. This is really convenient for storing paddle boards, kayaks, all the water toys, tubes, rather than carrying them all the way around to the garage. Another great feature about this area is the timber framed eyebrow roof. Really dresses up that entrance. Here we are in the subterranean garage. Now earlier I mentioned this would be a great space for storing lake toys. In this case, the client opted to use it as a workshop. This could be used as a theater room, a gym, or even a tucked under garage. We used hollow core panels on the ceiling to span the first floor garage. We poured the foundation walls further down so that we could actually utilize this square footage. Now remember, we're on a narrow lake lot, so the customer didn't have the ability to do multi-buildings. That's why they opted to go ahead and put the workshop underneath the garage. And as we carry around to the front of the home, you'll notice this impressive retaining wall. These boulders blend so nice with the stone on the home. This is why it's important for us to know about your lot. Get a survey, a topo map. You'll notice that this is a narrower lake lot. It's got some setbacks due to the DNR, and it's got some topography that we had to deal with. But we took all that into account to design this beautiful home and achieve everything the client was looking for. And as we wrap around to the front of the home, we've got a 3-car garage that features 2 dormers. The dormers are a really great way to add curb appeal, but in this case, they're multifunctional. The client wanted to be able to expand the home for future generations to come. So we've actually doubled the square footage of the garage by adding a bonus room above there. That space is all prepped to be finished off for a future private suite. With the dormers, they'll have windows, great views, nothing will be lost up there. Now, in addition to the 3-car garage, we've also got a 1-car detached garage for extra storage. It even features a bell tower from the original home that sat on this property. But my favorite feature of this garage is this view. Let's go take a look at that. How many garages do you know that have a lake view like that? This garage also incorporates 10-foot ceilings, insulated walls, the same trim that's used on the inside. So it's not just a garage, it's really an expansion of the footprint of the home. You could be out here having big parties, hosting guests. If it's raining outside, you're still covered and still taking advantage of a great view outside. We've got the subterranean garage below us, main floor garage right here, and then the future private suite up above us. That's a way that Golden Eagle's design team was actually able to add square footage to the home without increasing the footprint on this narrow lake lot. As you're into the home, you're greeted by this impressive front porch. We've got these massive 2-foot by 2-foot stone pillars supporting this amazing timber accent truss above us. We come inside, we've got stamped concrete finish, giving it a plank look. We've got our 2x8 shiplap chiseled siding, giving it that real rustic look. We've got our tongue and groove ceiling finish and our chiseled board-on-board texture above us. Coming up to the front door, we've got a convenient entrance with a 0 entry right in this impressive 6-foot wide by 8-foot tall front door. Now this might seem bigger than your average porch. And the reason why is it actually doubles as a tennis pavilion. Over here, we've got a full-size tennis court, pickleball, and even a basketball hoop. And that's what's so great about building a brand new Golden Eagle log and timber home. We built over 6,000 homes, and we understand it's not just about building a home. It's about building a destination, a place where the family wants to come and gather and spend time together. So if you're ready to start building your legacy home, give us a call today. Today we're down in the rolling hills of southwestern Wisconsin, here to take a look at this amazing rustic farmhouse built by Golden Eagle Log and Timber Homes. Let's go inside and take a look. This home is 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, just over 5,200 square feet, not counting the outdoor living space, which we'll show you a little bit later. But for now, let's start right here in this amazing great room. Now, when I walked through the front door, the first thing my eye was instantly drawn to was this impressive fireplace. This thing is almost 22 feet tall, 6 feet wide, and even has a raised hearth for additional seating. This is a great idea in a space like this. We can come over, we can sit next to this gas fireplace, warm up. We're also right here in the main area, still engaged in the conversation. And off to the side, that's a Samsung frame TV. We're starting to see a lot more of those. It's really nice because when you've got the TV on, obviously you're enjoying the TV. But then when you don't have the TV on, it actually acts as a piece of artwork, still decorating the space. And then up above me, have you ever seen a mantle like this? I mean, look how cool that thing looks. That's an 8x10 hand-hewn mantle resting on 2 8x8 timber supports. Those timber supports in the mantle just tie in excellent with the timber beams above us. And then look at that timber accent truss. Hanging off that truss, you've got this impressive chandelier that throws off so much lighting. And by the way, when we get upstairs, you're really gonna appreciate that timber truss up close and personal. But for now, let's head over to the kitchen. This is one amazing kitchen. But before we get into the details, I want to take a moment to highlight how centrally located this is on the floor plan. Not only do we have convenient access right off the garage, but we're also located near the stairs. So whether you're coming up from the lower level or down from the loft, the kitchen's just a few steps away. And right behind me is the great room. Now this kitchen really does have a lot of things to highlight, but the first thing my eye went to was this impressive range hood. We used rustic hickory on the range hood, just like we did with the rest of the kitchen cabinets, but we went with a darker contrasting stain to really give it that accent feel. Up above, we have a nickel gap board, which plays off very well with the rest of the hand-hewn tongue and groove you'll see throughout the home. And just below the trim here, we have an 8-inch wide plank that ties in with the 8x8 ceiling beams in the kitchen. And throughout this kitchen, we'll see this mirror tiled backsplash. And what that does is with the under cabinet lighting, it allows the light to reflect off not only the backsplash, but then also off the granite countertops, just reflecting all that light back into the kitchen. And we have to talk about this dual oven range combo. This Wolf unit is 48 inches wide, has dual ovens. What's great about that is you can literally be cooking multiple dishes at different temperature settings. Up above is 4 gas burners with a griddle located in between. You could pretty much cook every meal possible at the same time on this thing. Another thing I think the Golden Eagle design team absolutely nailed was the incorporation of this window. By going to a casement style window, we're able to conveniently unlock and open the window from the bottom of the window. Now imagine if that was a double hung window. You'd have to reach up about midway to unlock it and then lift the window up, making it much harder to access. Another thing to point out about the window is the design itself. We lined up the center of the window with the faucet, the light fixture above, and even the beam that carries across the island. Those are the little details that make it so great to work with Golden Eagle Log and Timber homes. And just below the window, we've got this black granite farmhouse sink. I mean, in a farmhouse style home, you gotta have a farmhouse sink. That black plays off very nicely with the black granite countertops we see throughout the home. Again, the black mirrored tiled backsplash, the black fixtures, even the black handle pulls. And I think all that ties in really well with the darker knots that you get in the hickory cabinets as well. And right over here, we have this impressive island. This island is 5 foot by 7 foot. And look at the countertop. We've got the extra thick edge all the way around. Really plays well with the timbers and just this caliber of home. And you might notice that this is the same stain that we used on the range hood earlier. Now in an ordinary home, the side of this island might just be left blank. But here we added custom end panels to really give it that furniture-like appearance. We even extended the toe kick, adding just one more touch. And while we're down here, you might notice that we didn't do the extended toe kick on the perimeter cabinets. And that's because the client wants to incorporate toe kick lighting throughout the kitchen. Another hidden detail to this island is the extra storage you get by adding doors to the back of the island. On top of the island, we've got these discrete pop-up outlets. Very convenient for if you're hosting a party, you've got crock pots out, you don't want cords hanging over the edge of the island. And then of course, right over here, we've got the Wolf microwave drawer. And just behind me, we have the Sub-Zero fridge. I think Golden Eagle's kitchen team did an excellent job of integrating not only this fridge, but all the appliances throughout this kitchen for a seamless look. Over here, we added the refrigerator end panel. That allowed us not only to give it the built-in look, but also to bring the upper cabinet out flush to the edge of the refrigerator. Imagine if that cabinet was further back. It'd be harder to get at, and you'd even see the top of the refrigerator. And speaking of the upper cabinets, when you have 10-foot ceilings like we do in this kitchen, it's a really good idea to add the upper cabinets. Not only does it fill in that space, but it also gives you the ability to add decorative glass at the top. By backlighting that glass, it brings in a lot more light, almost making it feel like there's windows all the way around. And right next to the fridge, we have this beverage station. We start out with this oversized prep sink. Great for rinsing out your drinks, dumping your coffee, that kind of stuff. Right above there is integrated wine storage. Just next to the sink, we have the Sub-Zero under cabinet beverage center. And on top of that, a great place to store your coffee pot. You know, I really like how your coffee pot, you're probably gonna keep out every day. But yet, in this design, it's tucked off over to the side, kind of hidden from the rest of the view of the kitchen. And one thing I didn't mention was the under cabinet lighting. Not only does it add great ambient lighting, but it can also be used for task lighting, making your drinks, or maybe that morning coffee and you don't want to turn all the lights on. And once your coffee's ready, there's no better place to enjoy it than right over here. And here we are on this impressive covered porch. I mean, you really do get the feeling like you're up in the trees, just looking out the back of the property, great views. And it all starts with Golden Eagle's signature 8x8 hand-hewn timbers. We're not only using them for the post, but we're also using them as the braces going up to the headers. We've got double headers going across the front and the turkey track up above. Just above us, we have our rustic knotty pine tongue and groove ceiling that brings us over to the outdoor fireplace. Now this is the same chase and the same stone that was on the interior duplicated to the exterior. We even raised the hearth just like inside. Just imagine those cool fall nights, you can still sit out here and enjoy the outdoors. Now the clients tell us that they just love sitting out on this covered porch, enjoying dinner, listening to nature. But let's go back inside and show you where the main dining is. Now whether you're enjoying dinner out on the covered porch or back here in the dining room, you're definitely not sacrificing the view with this impressive window. And speaking of the windows, again, look how balanced we are. We've lined up the table with the center window and even the beam above. And speaking of the table, This was custom built by the builder using a live edge slab provided by Golden Eagle Log and Timber Homes. And just off the great room is the master suite. Let's go take a look inside. Now, even though this is a lofted home, we still have the benefit of a vaulted ceiling here. The master suite sits just outside the lofted area, and that allows us to extend the ceilings here. We have the same beam structure that we had out in the great room, but in here, we're introducing a new lighter ceiling finish with our Springbrook tongue and groove. This is a great display of how you can incorporate wood with drywall. In this case, we've got hand-hewn tongue and groove on the perimeter walls and drywall on the interior wall. A lot of customers love doing that. And one of my favorite spaces of this entire home is this screen porch. A screen porch was a must-have for these clients, and the way we designed it off the main covered porch, we're not sacrificing any views. Now, there's a lot to talk about in the master bathroom. The first thing is the double vanity. I really like how we extended the center section, giving it designated spaces for his and hers. We have the leathered granite rock chip countertop. We're using hickory cabinets, and we've even got motion censored toe lighting below that turns on when you get up in the middle of the night. On top, we've got dual copper vessel sinks that tie in with this beautiful copper tub. Now, the client specifically wanted to be able to still see out the windows when using the tub. So Golden Eagle's design team extended the bottom of the windows down so no views were sacrificed. Right behind me, we have the walk-in closet, but let's talk about the shower. What makes this shower unique is it's set up for his and her controls. Each side features a handheld wand on a slide bar, allowing you to set your preference at height. Up above, you have the overhead rain shower, and on each side, you have individual temperature controls, making each side custom for your personal setting. And here we are in the second bedroom on the first floor. Here again, we're utilizing hand-hewn tongue and groove on walls, along with drywall. And over here is a great opportunity to see the trim work going on in this house. We've got 2x8 hand-hewn base, along with 2x8 band board. And you'll notice throughout the home, we're doing a 2x6 casing along the side, but a 2x8 casing across the top of the windows and doors. Really adds dimension and character. With these massive windows and great views, this could also be used as a home office. And speaking of massive windows, this home we're featuring the Pella Lifestyle casement windows throughout with the pre-finished interior jambs. And just off the bedroom is an attached full bathroom that also serves as a guest bath with the use of the door off the hallway. There's a lot of unique details going on in this bathroom. We're using rustic hickory cabinetry. We've got a rustic live edge pine top, which is actually the same material that was used on the dining room table. We've got a hammered copper vessel sink, and we've got wall-mounted faucets, making it easy to keep the surface clean. I even like how we have this angle going on here, and we were able to incorporate this cabinet on top of the vanity. And right behind me, we have another walk-in tiled shower. And here's a detail worth pointing out. We have zero entry. That means there's no step to get into the shower, so aging in place is that much easier. What's great about this floor plan design is all the access points off the laundry and mudroom. We have direct access to the back patio with the back door. We have access out to the driveway coming through the front door here. And just behind me, we have access to the garage, which we'll get into a little bit later. But let's start here in the laundry room. Now, when you're working with Golden Eagle, whether we're designing your kitchen, your laundry room, office, or even your walk-in closets, we're often using the same cabinetry. It's all customizable, whether you choose different stains or wood species. In this case, the client chose to keep the same cabinets as they had in the kitchen. A couple things worth pointing out in this space. First is the view. We've got almost 7 feet of window looking out over the backyard. Another nice little detail is the integrated dog bed and feeding station. And just off to the side, we've got a large pantry. Right around the corner, we've got this excellent drop zone Convenient built-in bench for taking off your shoes, storing the coats. But let's head upstairs. Now before we head up to the loft, let's take a second and check out these stairs. Typically, we see the stringers mounted underneath the treads. In this case, we kept the stringers out on the edge of the treads. We've got all hand-hewn surface on the stringers, the treads, and the post. We've got our timber-worn edge railing and the rebar spindles. The second floor of this home has a unique loft space that I think you're gonna love. Up here, you can actually get up close and personal to all the beam work, the intricate details of all the timbers on the ceiling. You can actually feel the texture and see the rustic ceiling finish that was used throughout the great room. Right over here, we have a nice little sitting area, amazing views out the window. I think the colors and the textures we used just give this home a real warm, cozy cabin feel. Let's go look at the other side of the loft. Over here, I'm gonna call this the reading nook area. The client saw this featured in one of our other home tours and just had to have it. And we found the perfect spot for it in this design up here in the loft. And over here, with the use of a gabled dormer, which just opened up this space, gave us the vaulted ceiling, and the windows created a nice little spot for a sitting area. Now in the bedroom, we've got a shed dormer. Let's go take a look at that. By using a shed dormer, you're able to add more space than with a gabled dormer. That allowed us to get enough room for this bedroom and closet. And just outside the bedroom, we've got another full bathroom, essentially making this upper area its own private suite, perfect for if you're hosting guests. Now before we head down to the lower level, I want to point out the interior doors. All the doors on this home on the first floor are 8 feet tall in rustic hickory, matching the kitchen cabinets. Let's go check out the lower level. Now this part of the home was designed with entertaining in mind. And over here is the bar area. The client loved the rustic pine slab so much that we even used it as the bar top. Just below the bar top, we've got the same stone that we're using on the fireplace. We're continuing the rock chipped leather granite on the countertops back here. And then it flows right out to the patio. Perfect for if you're outside enjoying the campfire, want to come in, grab a quick drink, and head right back out. Over here, we've got the same size fireplace chase that was upstairs, carried it all the way down to the lower level. We've got another raised hearth. We've got a gas fireplace and the same mantle that was upstairs. Now you might be wondering, where would you put a TV down here? Well, in this case, the client used a projector. Now I mentioned the 8-foot tall doors on the first floor, but we actually have 8-foot tall doors down here as well. And that's due to the fact that we have 10-foot ceiling heights, making it really just feel like an expansion of the first floor. Right behind me, we head into a bedroom. Now nothing is lost in the lower level. We've got full-size windows, letting in all that natural light. We're using the same ceiling finish, the same trims, and the same wall finish. We even have the 8-foot tall barn door right behind me, leading into the bathroom. In this bathroom, we've got another tiled walk-in shower, a 6-foot vanity topped off with another rustic pine slab, and I just love that hammered copper sink. We're starting to see a lot more home gyms designed in our floor plans, and this is a great display of that. And one thing I really like in this room is how our selections team advised to maybe take the tongue and groove, turn it vertically, and use it as a wainscoting. Imagine if you were lifting weights, you dropped a weight, now you've got the wood protecting you from the drywall. Just on top of the wainscoting, you've got this hand-hewn chair rail, topped off with the band board up above and the baseboards down below. And just behind me through this door is probably one of the cleanest mechanical rooms I've ever seen. In here we've got the finished epoxy flooring. One thing I forgot to mention is the entire lower level and the master suite features in-floor heat. This room also has access up to the garage. What's great about that is imagine if you had to have a service technician come over and work on anything. You can lock off the rest of the home and only give them access to this space. I even hate to call this a garage with all the great finishes we have in here. I mean, we've got full-size windows. We've got the same hand-hewn tongue and groove that was used inside the home. We've got the finished epoxy garage floor. We've even got custom built-in benches over here with storage underneath. Perfect for when you're coming in and sit down, take off your boots, tuck them away, keep it all clean. Now from the front of the home, this looks like a 2-car garage, but with the use of the side load garage door, we're actually able to pick up a 3rd stall, perfect for those side-by-sides or UTVs. The garage floor slopes down to this center drain. With this entire garage being insulated and having in-floor heat, the snow's gonna melt off and run right into that drain. You can even rinse the floor or your cars off with this hot or cold water hookups. We're even wired for future EV charging. As I make my way around to the back of the home, one thing I want to point out is when you're building a brand new custom home, the last thing you want to see is the mechanicals. Here's an excellent way that we kind of hid the units over in the corner. We were able to install the staircase, takes us back into the laundry mudroom, tuck away the AC unit so you don't see it from the front of the house or from down by the main entertaining area. These natural stone steps and boulder retaining walls lead us down into the main entertaining area. We've got plenty of space for a fire pit, or in this case a fire table, which leads us under the 1st floor covered porch. It's got a finished ceiling, which not only looks beautiful, but also provides protection from the rain or the sun. Right through the patio doors, we have access to that lower level bar, making it perfect for running in and out, grabbing a cocktail. And just behind me, we have a year-round swim spa. A great way to add curb appeal is by using these custom timber eyebrow roofs above the garage. Not only that, but then we added a timber accent up above that as well. And then right around the corner, we have that access back into the laundry mudroom area. Imagine how convenient that would be. You're out there working on the yard, you can walk right in, kick off your dirty shoes, drop your clothes off. Another detail worth pointing out is how the garage and the house have horizontal shiplap siding. In this space, we did vertical board and batten siding, almost designating it as its own little space between the house and the garage. As we make our way to the grand entrance, there's so many details to talk about, but first let's stop and look at this rain chain. If we didn't have the rain chain here, we would have a downspout coming down from the gutter. So this is an excellent way to still use the gutter, but dress up the area. Now as we carry along, we're greeted by this 48-foot long covered porch. We've got hand-hewn 8x8 posts sitting on top of these massive stone pillars. One thing you might notice is there's no railing on the front porch, and that's because this entire home is set up with 0 entry. That means you can actually pull into the driveway, walk right up to the front door, and even into the front door without taking a step. Or you can pull into the garage and walk right in from the garage without a step. Now as we make our way to the massive 6-foot by 8-foot front door, we go from flat ceilings to a vaulted ceiling. That not only gives us the ability to add this beautiful chandelier right above the front door, but also incorporate another timber accent.
From the moment it comes into view across the lake, the Minnesota Timber Ranch Deluxe sets the tone for a home that balances familiarity with bold new ideas. This is a reimagined version of a fan-favorite Golden Eagle design, expanded in all the right ways, with over 1,000 additional square feet, a sweeping walkout wall framing the lake, and an enlarged lower level ready for everything from recreation to relaxation. This home brings luxury timber living to a completely new level, and the result is a home that feels both familiar and completely transformed. As you enter this grand space, the home opens beneath soaring 10-foot wall heights and cathedral ceilings, all framed by exposed mortise and tenon timber trusses engineered by Golden Eagle. These trusses don't just enrich the ceiling, they shape the entire experience. One frames the kitchen, another defines the dining area, and beyond that, the structure lifts over the main gathering space. Each area feels distinct, yet visually connected. The kitchen is anchored by a welcoming granite island, part workspace, part gathering spot, and fully connected to the dining and great room spaces. It's the kind of spot that stays busy from morning through evening. Around the perimeter, the cabinetry features an elegant inset design, giving the kitchen a refined, furniture-like presence. The refrigerator and freezer are each concealed behind matching cabinet panels, allowing the appliances to blend quietly into the backdrop and keep the focus on the timber structure above. Along the cooking wall, a 48-inch range takes center stage, paired with a custom metal hood that anchors the room with a sense of craftsmanship and weight. On one side, a pullout keeps knives, ladles, and spices within easy reach. On the other, a divider organizes trays and baking sheets, thoughtful touches that make the space feel both efficient and elevated. Lighting plays a major role in the character of the room. Individual sconces above each window create a warm glow, while lighting in the toe kick, under the cabinets, and above the upper cabinets layers illumination throughout the space. Overhead, substantial pendants mark the island as the heart of the kitchen. The island itself pairs beautifully with the black walnut live edge dining table beyond, a material tone that repeats in subtle accents throughout the home and ties the entire main level together. Just off the primary work zone, a dedicated coffee and prep area makes everyday routines feel special. Here, a pull-out microwave tucks neatly into the cabinetry, paired with a prep sink and space for a coffee maker. Glass front wall cabinets, softly lit from within, display meaningful dishware and decor. Just beyond the kitchen, the pantry becomes a seamless extension of the workspace. An automatic door opens with a gentle nudge, perfect when your hands are full coming in from the garage. Inside, a full-width refrigerator on one side and a full-width freezer on the other offer generous storage for everyday living and entertaining. Long countertop runs make unloading and prep easy, while a mix of closed cabinetry and open shelving keeps essentials within reach. A sliding barn door adds a second access point and ties the pantry back into the home's timber detailing. Near the kitchen and dining table, what looks like framed artwork reveals itself to be a cleverly disguised television. With its matte finish and realistic image, it reads as art until it's switched on. When not in use, an ambient mode keeps it quietly in the background, supporting the room instead of dominating it. The great room itself centers on a towering fireplace chase, clad in quarry stone used throughout the home. The browns link seamlessly to the wood and timbers, while the grays pair perfectly with the industrial accents whispering through the design. A large backlit clock becomes a focal point above the fireplace, turning the stone mass into a luminous showcase wall. From here, doors lead out to the deck and outdoor recreation spaces. We'll explore those a bit later. For now, another key design move deserves attention: the stair. This redesigned stair runs along the side of the great room, creating a clearer flow through the main level. At the top, a loft tucks into the roofline with a quiet reading nook, an additional bed, and soft natural light, a comfortable retreat overlooking the space below. With its height and warm timber detailing, this room feels inviting the moment you enter, a true haven for guests. Just off the guest bedroom, the main level bath blends warm finishes with clean, modern detailing. The floor is laid in a herringbone tile pattern. Inside the shower, soft gray subway-style tile wraps the walls, while a pebble-inspired shower floor adds natural texture underfoot. A clear glass door keeps the space bright and open, and the vanity pairs rich wood cabinetry with a granite top that echoes the materials found throughout the house. Next door, the office, noted as a bedroom on the plan, is elevated by its vaulted ceiling. That added height brings an airy architectural feel to the room, whether it's used for work or as an additional sleeping space. The master suite brings a quiet sense of retreat to this side of the home. The bedroom is anchored by a substantial ridge beam overhead, with large timbers stepping down into a refined band of wood that highlights the height and structure of the space. It's a calm, elevated take on lodge-inspired design, warm, open, and intentionally crafted. Natural light fills the room through 2 large casement windows and a full glass door leading out to the deck. With the hot tub just outside, the suite flows easily from morning light to evening relaxation. Wall-mounted sconces above the nightstands free up the surfaces and place the lighting exactly where it's needed, making the room feel both tailored and effortless. Stepping into the master bath, the space immediately feels refined and thoughtfully composed. The vanity stretches across the room with an elegant marble top. Deepened at the center for both presence and function, paired with wall-mounted faucets that keep the surface clean and uncluttered. Above it, sculptural lighting and a wide mirror create a bright, welcoming focal point. To one side, a private toilet area includes subtle night lighting that responds automatically as the room darkens, a small detail that adds comfort to late-night routines. The walk-in steam shower is a true highlight. Tile wraps the walls and continues across the ceiling, giving the enclosure a polished, custom-crafted feel. Soft, diffused light enters through obscured glass windows. Just beside the shower, a tub designed with aging in place in mind offers easy access without sacrificing aesthetics. Across from the vanity, a timber feature inspired by a piece the client discovered in the Design Center showroom adds both architecture and storage, giving the room a warm, personal touch. Just beyond the bath, the layout flows naturally into the master closet, continuing the efficient, connected design that Golden Eagle is known for. Stepping from the closet, you arrive in the laundry room, where pedestal-mounted machines lift the washer and dryer to a more comfortable height. A Jurassic countertop pairs with a durable 18-gauge stainless steel sink, creating a hard-working space elevated by its material choices. Nearby, one of the timber ranch signatures appears, a powder room tucked just off the laundry and close to the garage. Ideal for quick trips in and out. In the mudroom, reclaimed planks from the homeowner's family barn create a meaningful backdrop for the island artwork, a piece that features the small island just outside the property. Railroad spikes add another personal touch, and the carved nickel finish brings texture without sacrificing easy maintenance. A nearby closet and garage entry keep the space practical and organized. The attached garage is finished as a true extension of the home, fully insulated, trimmed with the same hewn profiles used inside, and built to the same level of detail you see throughout the main living areas. In the original timber ranch, the space above the garage served only as storage. In this deluxe version, Golden Eagle transformed that attic volume into a true living space that can sleep up to 10. Natural light pours in from both sides, with views toward the lake and clear sightlines to arriving guests. Finishes here are just as refined as downstairs. An additional bathroom up here brings the home to 4.5 baths, up from 3.5 in the original plan. The staircase leading to the finished lower level becomes a crafted architectural moment of its own. Quarry stone continues down the wall, visually connecting the upper floors with the level below. The timber treads are hand-hewn, a finish unique to Golden Eagle, and they're paired with substantial timber handrails for a bold, structural feel. Powder-coated aluminum balusters bring in a subtle industrial edge that complements the home's overall material palette. At the base of the stairs, the finished lower level opens into a generous family room, a comfortable gathering space with room for shuffleboard, pool, and a table for cards or games. Large windows and the walkout design make this level feel connected to the outdoors, not tucked away below it. Just beyond is the bar, anchored by a warm walnut top with black granite on the working side. The roof structure over the bar, inspired by Golden Eagle's iconic Timber Lake floor plan, creates a distinctive architectural moment. Behind it, open display shelving, closed cabinetry, and ample counter space make entertaining effortless. A base refrigerator, sink, and half dishwasher keep everything convenient without overwhelming the space. The stonework on the bar's exterior ties back to the materials used throughout the home, and a reclaimed style railroad tie at foot level adds a personal touch that echoes the stories found upstairs. Just off the bar, a door opens into a chilled wine cellar. Step inside, and the temperature drops noticeably. Wine is displayed with a sense of theater. Up lighting and indirect lighting along the upper trim and ceiling wash the bottles and stone in a warm glow. The familiar quarry stone appears once more, adding texture and continuity. Because the room is temperature controlled, details like a proper threshold and full weather stripping around the door are critical, ensuring a stable environment. Timber siding surrounds the wine cellar, giving it a rich, grounded feel that stands apart from the other finished spaces downstairs. Across the lower level, you arrive at the home's theater area. Instead of solid walls isolating the room, a railing, the kind you might expect along a loft or stair, separates it from the adjacent spaces. That choice keeps sightlines open, so your eye flows through the level, while still defining the theater as its own zone. Within, Tiered seating has been carefully planned. Each seat is electronically controlled by remote, letting guests find their perfect position for movie night or game day. Around the corner, a flex room serves as a dedicated craft space. With an egress window, it easily qualifies as a bedroom if needed. Everything in this room is neatly labeled and organized, the kind of purposeful, hobby-friendly space that new construction can provide. Another bedroom on this level accommodates a king-size bed and a large closet. Thanks to the peninsula setting of the property, the window here looks out toward the lake, supported by a boulder-lined retaining edge outside. The scale of the window and the natural light make it hard to call this a basement bedroom. It feels very much like an above-grade room. Nearby, a room currently used as a workout space serves as a dedicated gym. This room, too, could become a bedroom if needed. The flexibility is built in. Throughout these lower-level rooms, the trim remains anything but standard. Baseboards are 8 inches tall with a hewn finish and roughly 1.5 inches thick. It's a small detail, but it reinforces the sense of custom craftsmanship at every level. The lower-level bathroom introduces a feature that's actually present in all the home's baths: a humidity sensor. Instead of flipping a switch, the exhaust fan turns on automatically when humidity rises and shuts off once the levels drop again. It's a simple, invisible system that makes everyday living easier. Here, the bath includes a tub, an important inclusion for grandchildren or guests of all ages. The ceiling isn't tiled. Instead, the room's regular ceiling finish continues over the tub, making the space feel taller. A herringbone pattern, echoed from other parts of the home, adds one more layer of continuity. At the lake-facing edge of the lower level, a Four Seasons room bridges inside and outside. A massive wall of sliding glass panels opens the entire space to the outdoors. When fully retracted, the Four Seasons room becomes part of the patio and yard. When closed, the panels lock into place with simple latches, and one section acts as a standard door for everyday use. A large ceiling fan helps push bugs out of the seating area when the room is open. Clever vertical wood storage runs down to the tile floor, right beside the wood-burning fireplace, making it easy to sweep and keep clean. Step through the glass wall, and the property opens into full outdoor living. A lakeside fire pit creates a natural gathering spot for cool evenings, with the shoreline stretching out just beyond. And instead of a simple storage building, the boathouse here functions as a true hangout, complete with an outdoor bar that turns this end of the property into its own destination. A main feature wall is capped with a mortise and tenon, Douglas fir timber truss, smaller than the trusses inside, but still substantial, echoing the structural language of the interior. Along the lake-facing edge, the railing is thoughtfully chosen. When you're standing above grade and looking down at the water, bulky railings can spoil the view. Here, cable railing provides safety with minimal obstruction, letting your eye pass right through to the lake beyond. In the upper gable, cedar shakes add texture and charm. Roof overhangs extend out from 2 feet to 3 feet, creating a craftsman-style roofline with both function and character. The primary exterior cladding is Golden Eagle's 12-inch double-hewn timber siding, a profile you'll see increasingly in their homes, and one that's exclusive to Golden Eagle, giving the walls a rich, dimensional look. A wood-burning fireplace on the deck becomes a natural gathering spot throughout the year. Above it, what appears to be a reclaimed timber mantle is actually crafted from concrete, textured to look just like aged wood. Underfoot, The surface uses an epoxy-like flooring, engineered for the high use demands of garage floors and for year-round outdoor exposure. The entire surface is heated as well, quietly melting snow and ice throughout the winter. And just around the corner, a path leads toward the secondary garage. The secondary garage is designed for serious storage and serious fun. Inside, a lift allows vehicles or toys to be stacked, effectively doubling the usable floor area. It's a perfect solution for boats, cars, and recreational equipment. Above, a storage truss system mirrors the footprint, offering a full second level of usable space. Wrapping back around toward the front of the home, another eyebrow roof mirrors the one on the deck side. The garage doors themselves are oversized steel units, but the rich, textured finish gives them a warm, handcrafted presence. Craftsman-style fixtures flank each door, adding scale and soft illumination in the evenings. At the entry, a covered porch introduces a thoughtful sense of arrival. Maintenance-free decking keeps the surface clean and durable, while live edge rails, a distinctive golden eagle detail, pair beautifully with the hand-hewn texture of the woodwork. Massive 8x8 hand-hewn posts support the porch and frame the 8-foot front door, proportioned to match the volume of the interior. Step through that door, and you're right back in the world of soaring trusses, rich finishes, and carefully choreographed sightlines that define the Minnesota Timber Ranch Deluxe. Since 1966, families across the U.S. and Canada have trusted Golden Eagle to build their forever homes. If you loved this home, tell us in the comments, and check out more tours right here.